There's never been a generation with more opportunity than this one. And that's exactly the problem. 10 to 20 years ago, the path was simple. You went to school, maybe college, got a job, and you slowly built your life. It wasn't exciting, but it was very clear. There weren't 100 voices in your head telling you there was a faster way. Now, 2026, a 16-year-old can open their phone and see someone their age making 20,000 a month from a bedroom with the Shopify stores, YouTube channels, crypto wins on day trading, screenshots. It's everywhere. It's not even celebrities no more. It's just regular people, and it just changes something in your brain. Suddenly, just school doesn't feel like a thing you have to do. It just feels optional. Homework, it feels pointless. Why sit in the classroom feeling left behind when people your age are already winning at life? The thing that the thought isn't crazy. The internet really did change the game. You can make real money being young now, way more than the traditional way. But the awareness comes way faster than maturity. Now everyone knows what's possible, but almost no one understands what it actually takes. Everybody just sees the outcome. No one sees the progress of the years behind it. They see the highlight reel. No one sees the repetition. No one sees the constant failure. And no one sees the boredom when you don't feel like doing the thing you know you need to do. Now instead, everyone's focused on ambition. But it just creates a restless, endless impatience. You don't get people thinking no more. People don't want to think how they're going to build something over time. You just get people thinking, I need to escape the life I'm living as fast as possible. Midlife crisis. And that's where everything, the trap just begins. Now, you see, I feel like my problem as someone who's in Gen Z, I'm 19 years old, the problem isn't Gen Z, is because Gen Z is just an expired generation. We grew up more privileged than others, right? But like the inspiration, it's super shallow. And it just mutates into entitlement. People just don't want more than success anymore. They want it early, they want it fast, and want it without all the ugly stuff that come with it. They want the freedom, the money, and the lifestyle, but they don't want to take the repetition it takes to get there. So then what do? They just sell home, watch 6 videos on drop shipping, and now they're an entrepreneur. They download their trading app, and now all of a sudden they're in a market like TJR. Trust me, I've been there. They started a YouTube channel, they upload twice, and now they're building a brand. It it feels like progress, but it's just not. It's just identity without evidence. Just it's not. And the deeper issue is this: consuming content have to feel like doing the work. Watching tutorials, scrolling through strategies, saving clips, it creates the illusion of movement, but nothing's actually being built. Because real progress is boring, it's doing the same thing over and over with no applause. It's just failing quietly and improving in ways nobody sees. And most people aren't prepared for that. So the moment things slow down, when the first product flops, when the views don't come, when the trades go wrong and they don't adapt, nobody doubles down. They disengage. They say it's too saturated. It doesn't work anymore. And not because it's true, but because they never even stay long enough to find out. See, this is where things get really dangerous. Not just because of failure, but because like the space in between, the middle. It's where someone mentally checks out of the traditional path. They stop caring about school, they stop trying at jobs, and they start telling themselves, I'm not doing this no more life. But at the same time, they don't fully commit to anything else. Then try trading for a month, then YouTube for 2 weeks, then maybe e-commerce, then crypto, then something else they saw online. They're always starting, but they're never staying. And the result, no degree, no real skill, no income, and no discipline. Just fragments of effort scattered across different ideas. It's where years disappear. Because it feels like you're trying. You're in the game. You're not lazy. You're just inconsistent. But inconsistency compounds just as powerful as discipline does. you'll just end up stuck in a loop of restarting. Every new thing feels exciting for a few days. You talk about like it's the one. You imagine the outcome. Build the second it demands patience and you're gone. But what's the worst part about it? You already lost respect for the stable path. You're now closed one door and you never walk through the other. The middle ground isn't neutral, it's where the momentum dies. So, here's the truth about most people avoid. Our generation, Gen Z, it isn't doomed. It's just divided. There's a small group that sees the same opportunities and actually commits. They pick one path and stay with it long after it starts becoming exciting. They treat it like a perfection, not a phase. They study when it's boring, they work when it's quiet, they keep going when there's no reward, and yet, after 2 or 3 years, their life looks completely different. Then there's everyone else. They watch the same stuff. They say all the same things. They talk about the freedom, the money, and escaping the matrix, the system, they say. But their actions, they don't match. There's everyone else. They start and stop and they wait to feel ready. They look for the next easier method. And over time, the gap between those two groups become too big. Not because the one group had this more and better information, or because that one group stayed there longer and did more of the hard work than the other one, but because the real decision for the groups wasn't just school or the business, it was their commitment. If you choose a traditional path, you gotta take it seriously. You gotta build the skills. You have to be intentional and you have to use it. But if you do choose the online path, like the stuff that just happened, like streaming university, right? Where people stream, or you do choose to start a YouTube channel, right? Or do start to go day trading, right? Then also, just like the traditional path, take it seriously. Build the skills and be intentional. Like treat it like a job. You show up daily. You have to accept there will be slow progress here and there, and you have to just stay through the boring phase. Because just don't live in the between. Because just people who waste years convincing themselves they're on the way when they're not truly started. And here's the reality with it. I wrote this video, right? But the reality is, I'm just like y'all. I struggle with inconsistency all my life. I'm only 19 years old. Alright? And I struggle with consistency all my life. I tried drop shipping. I tried, day trading, right? I tried to do that. I tried so many things. I even tried to do a car detailing business. Like I tried, guys. The side hustles, everything. But I was just so inconsistent. I almost gave up on school. I almost didn't go to college because I thought if I don't try to make it out, then who will do it for me? But the thing is, just jumping from one thing to the next is not what brings success. Choose one path, be intentional with it, build the skills, and use it. Don't live in between. You will waste years doing that. You convince yourself that you're doing something when you never truly started. So, guys, let's grow together. We'll make it one day because we forged it.